Hi everybody, this is Summer here, lactation consultant with Done Naturally, and we are talking about these today. These are newer in the world of lactation. Popular brand is called Haakaa. This one is actually called Love and Fit, all with a similar design. These are not electric. They are what you would call manual. They are not a pump. They market themselves as a pump, but they are not a breast pump. These are a milk collector, and they can be used with suction and they can be used without suction. And I'm going to talk about the dangers there are from using it with suction often, and people can overuse it and create a whole lot of problems, and how best it can be used. So when you talk about how to attach it, let's do that first. We squeeze the base, and then you can just simply put it on. So you can squeeze the base and it will attach to the breast. And to remove it, you simply peel away and the suction releases. You can pull back the neck like this and then also squeeze it. And then you can attach and release both and wrap it around. That's a stronger attachment with more suction. And then to release, you simply pull it away. Okay, so what's the danger here? So the danger is a couple things. They are not a breast pump, so you should not use these type of products to replace a missed breastfeed. When you are missing a breastfeed, you need to use a breast pump, which could be a manual breast pump, but the difference is there's repetitive suction, okay? Simulating what the baby does when they nurse. When the baby does, they do this. So a manual pump does the same thing. An electric pump does the same thing. This is one continuous suction. So it doesn't replicate the constant stimulation and suction the baby does, which is what we want. So when we are missing a breastfeed, you need to use an actual breast pump. Most women use electric breast pumps because they tend to be more convenient than a manual breast pump. But this is not used for replacing a missed breastfeed, okay? That is a completely different thing. A lot of people use this as a way to collect extra milk for storage. Here is the problem. The problem is this pulls milk out when it's attached with suction. So when we attach it with suction, we are removing milk from the breast actively. And what that does, because if we understand how milk making works, which milk making works because of milk removal, it is telling the breast to make more milk. Okay. Passive collection would be where you just hold it up to the breast, okay? And whatever you leak collects in the base. That is a leak collector. There are many of those products online. One I can think of is called Milkies, I believe. They're called milk savers. So there's no suction and it is merely collecting what you would leak naturally. So that's cool because it would otherwise get wasted into a cloth or your bra or down your belly. So whatever you're leaking catches in here. It is passive collection. There is absolutely no risk to passive collection, okay? There is risk to active collection, whether it be with an actual breast pump or this, because we are actively telling the body to produce more milk. So when people use it, where they put it on the other breast while the baby is feeding here, it is telling the body that the baby is feeding here and removing more milk. It's not just giving you relief. It is not just catching leak milk. It is actively suctioning additional milk out of the breast. Women often do it with the goal to give them relief. This breast feels full. The baby's nursing over here, or I'm leaking, let me get more milk out. Well, if you were leaking, we would want to just hold it there. If you're actively suctioning, you're getting more milk stimulation. So what does that mean? Well, we're not just relieving engorgement. We're just telling our body to continue to be engorged and to continue to produce more milk. So it's telling your body to keep using this, okay? It's not relief, which what we can get into then is hyperlactation, overactive letdown, recurring plug ducts, recurring mastitis, more risks along with that, breast abscesses, a baby who's frustrated at the breast, a baby who can't handle the constant flow of milk because they're being waterboarded with milk and they're like, "Ah!" They just want to nurse calmly with a steady flow, and instead mom is just fire hosing out because she keeps telling the body to make more milk. So this can make a whole lot of problems and complications for mom and for baby. It can make breastfeeding not fun. My moms who have hyperlactation and overactive letdown, they're not having a good time. They're experiencing constant engorgement. Their baby can't calmly nurse. They're constantly fighting the flow, popping off, coming back on, popping off. It's a nightmare. So this can cause problems, okay? It should not be used every single feeding. It should not be used to relieve engorgement because then engorgement just keeps coming because more milk keeps coming. We shouldn't be using this actively with suction all the time, okay? And the other one, don't use it to replace a missed breastfeed. That has to be a mechanical pump or a manual pump that provides repeated suction, okay? How can you use it? You could use it once a day actively and use it to collect some storage milk for going back to work. Absolutely. If you do that, it's going to be like someone that is pumping an extra time a day, collecting a couple ounces extra a day to store away. So then the body likes to do that at the same time every day. It doesn't like the random because the body gets used to consistency. Some women respond to this really well. Some women don't. Like some women put this on actively and only collect 1/4 ounce. Some women put this on actively and collect like 4 ounces. How much does this hold? This holds 3, this holds 4. So, you know, that's a lot of extra milk, 4 ounces. And if someone's doing this every single time actively, think about all that milk. She'd be making twin milk, and then the baby is trying to manage a singleton milk supply, but the mom makes a double. So we have to be careful. You can use it once a day to collect some extra for storage. That's fine. You could use it every single time passively. That's totally okay. Just hold it up and catch. And there's tricks where you can, you know, loop a long headband like I have on around it, twist it, and hook it up to your bra so that you don't actually have to hold it. You can put it this way so the baby won't kick it out of the way. You can also use those other products I'm talking about that fit into a bra and just catch leak milk that aren't stimulating more and causing more issues. So this isn't a benign product. It needs to be used with caution and with guidance from a lactation consultant. I can't tell you how many people have become clients of mine because they're calling me for hyperlactation and overactive letdown that was caused by overuse and active suction with this too many times. Okay, they created their own monster. These women weren't susceptible to hyperlactation and overactive letdown to begin with. They created their own monster without knowing it, okay? And if we can avoid that, that's great. So These products, use with caution, under the guidance of a lactation consultant, so she can tell you, depending on your situation, how best to use it. And another word of caution, if you've not been using one of these, and say you're 8 weeks postpartum and you're like, oh, I'm gonna go ahead and use this. I'm gonna attach this with suction to my breast while my baby's feeding on the other side, and it's gonna help us make more milk. And I'm 8 weeks postpartum. I'm further along than that. No, that is going to remove milk from this breast that is already designed for the baby. So you will be removing milk from the baby, okay? That's not good. Once we're past that house of milk phase, if you've watched that video, so past like the first month postpartum, your milk supply is pretty much set in stone. So pulling more milk out during a later time is going to remove milk that the baby's supposed to have access to. So that can actually create issues for the baby. Instead of you storing the milk from that session, it was supposed to be there for the baby's next feed. So, and yes, can you increase milk supply? That's a whole nother story. Yes, but there's ways to do it. And again, needs to be under the guidance of a lactation consultant. And this is not how to do it, okay? And the timing of when you try to increase milk supply matters quite a bit with your particular story and the baby. So all in all, sure, this is the product. Is it totally necessary? Absolutely not. People have been breastfeeding since the beginning of time without these things. Can it be useful? Absolutely. If used with caution and guidance. More often passively, oh my God, you could never overuse it passively to just collect what you're gonna leak anyway. Actively, that's where you need to be careful. Possibly once a day. Why are you trying to use it? Please be talking to an LC while you're doing this, because if you start with this in the beginning, you can very, very likely get hyperlactation, overactive letdown, a really fussy baby, and an unhappy breastfeeding experience. So be careful. That's all. I hope you guys have a good day. Give me a thumbs up if you like and subscribe, and I will see you another time.